Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to demonstrate you how to build a project using MVC Entity Framework Web API in Visual Studio 2019. Okay. So, if you see, this is the project which we are going to build now. This is the login page. Once you log in, it will take you to the one create customer page. Okay. We are also going to do validations. If I will not enter anything, it will show me the you can say the message, validation message. And when you fill some record, okay, like um, just adding some value, any random value I am filling here. Okay, fine. And any random mobile number, fine. And click on the create button. So the detail is submitted into the database and it is showing into the show customer page. Now this showing part, showing data from the database, this we have done through the web API. Means it will the MVC call the web API. Okay, web API retrieve the data from the database and it will send the data to the MVC controller, and MVC controller will show the all the details or records in the page. Okay, so this is what our project is. Also, if you go you do the edit, uh, you can edit the details and you can also of course delete the detail. Okay, this our project is. We have also used login logout to create a session and to kill the session. So session is also used for the state management in this project. Okay, now let's first see the table structure. So for that you have to create one database. Like I have given some name, data customer management system. Okay, and then in that you have to create two tables. One table is admin table. So this is the admin table. I have the column here, ID column, which is of type integer. Okay, I set it as a primary key, email ID and password. This table is only used to log in into the portal, log in into the site. Means this table is only used for to check the credentials, or you can say the admin will only log in and he can go and create the customer detail. Okay, so I also inserted record inside that. Okay, if you see here, I inserted one record. Okay, so while login it will check that the email ID password, if it is same as the data available in the database, then it allow the user to log into the site. Second table is the customer table, which is our main table, and we are going to do our CRUD operation in this customer table. Okay, so for that I have a customer ID which is a primary key, and also remember this is a identity specifications. You have to mark it yes, so every no need to, so that it auto addition is happening here and the value is entered by the your SQL management through SQL management. Then you have a customer name which is of type varchar. We have a age column which is of type integer, DOB, date time, gender varchar 6, city which is of varchar 100, state varchar 100, email id varchar 75, and mobile number, which is a big int. So these are the this is our on the table. Okay, so now first create a, let's start making the project. So what you have to do here, first create a empty solution. Okay, first create a blank solution. Okay, suppose I am giving name customer manage customer management. Okay, so this is my blank solution, and in this blank solution I am going to create, this is my Visual Studio 2019. I'm going to create 3 projects. One is the data access layer, which is a class library. Okay, fine, class library. So same like this one. Let me stop this project. So this is my class library. You can give the name customer DAL. Okay, second project is again, so this second project is a web application. Okay, so first create project data access, which is a class library, then you have to create a second project, add new project, which is of type ASP.NET web application .NET framework. Okay, when you select this project, remember to select the MVC option, this option. Okay, for the second project one. Same way, third project we are going to create, that is a again to create a web API. Okay, so third project you will create like same ASP.NET web application project. Next you give some name like customer web API, and then what you have to do, you have to select a web API. Okay, so one web form, one MVC, which is a second project, third project is the web API. Give some name and then create. So once it is done, so what you have these 3 projects created inside the solution. Okay, so we can see one by one. Let me close all this. Okay, now what we are going to do, in our customer DL we are going to create a entity framework. Okay, for entity framework, remember what is important is here that I am going to use a database approach, database first approach. So for that you need a database, and we already have created this database. So you have to complete, first you have to complete creation of the database and the tables. Okay, then what you have to do, just right click, add new item, and you have to select this edu.net entity data model. You have to give some name like I am creating customer model. Okay, fine, click add, select this one, designer from the database. Next, then you have to pass the connection string. Click new connection, and here you have to give your server name. Okay, once you give your server name, it will show the database name. You have to select the database name, and then you have to click OK. Once you click OK, you have to select a database. This is my database. Click OK. It will automatically take some name. Okay, this will create a connection string for you. So this connection string, it will save in the app.config file. Then you have to click next. Okay, if it asks which version of entity framework, select the 6.x, select the tables. Okay, and then when you click finish, what it will do, it will create a this, it will take some time, and it will create this edmx file like this is the two tables. So this, it will create your ORM, object relationship model. Okay, so if we see here, it created a class file which is you can say the object model of your tables. So I have admin user table, it created admin.cs. Whatever I have the column of that table, same thing it created as a here the property. So id, email id, password, what are they are the columns of my admin user table. So it created a admin user class, and for those columns it created that property, and this admin user will communicate with your table. Okay, for doing the CRUD operation, same way it created for your customer table also. Okay, and all this CRUD operation is handled by this context file. If you see, this is the db context is responsible for doing all the database related manipulations, to save the data, to insert retrieve the data, to update the data. It is all done by the db context class. So your customer info entities, while creating the your this entity framework, this is what the name you have given to your db context. Okay, and this you have to create the object of this, and this customer info sub entity is responsible for doing all the transformation, or you could say manipulation with from the database. Fine. Now what you have to do, you have to create a class here. What this class is doing, this class will communicate with your MVC or web API. Okay, so you are using a repository pattern here. So with this repository pattern, this class is responsible for interacting your database, or interacting, or you can say making a communication between your database and your presentation or your logic layer. So this is my customer repository class. So what I did here, if you see, this is my customer info entities. Where it is? It is inside the CS model context.cs, this db context file. This db context file, I created the object of this class. Okay, whenever someone call the this page, so it will create the object of that db context. So if you see customer repository constructor, in that we are creating and instantiating the that db context class. Clear? So this is my CIS model context.cs inside the TT. I have, this is my db context file, and I am creating the object of that db context file in the customer repository. Now let's see the method one by one. This method is created for the validate user. So what I am getting the parameter when I log in, that time I am getting email ID and password. So email ID password I am using as a parameter, and that email ID and password I am checking in the admin user if it is exist or not. If exist, then I am sending that some detail. Okay, same way, if you see here, the second one is add customer. So in add customer, what I am doing, when you are entering all the value in the add customer, okay, then this is coming from my UI page, WebLogic, Web API page, or the MVC page. So I'm inserting all the detail to my customer table. Okay, so we can see from where we are getting this customer info. Here this customer, if I place my cursor here, see customer del dot customer, mean this customer dot cs. Okay, because this will communicate with my table. Customer is the object model of that table. Third method is for show customer. क्या हुआ? कहाँ? सोने दो ना, वही सो रही है तो अभी चुप रहो, हम कुछ कर रहे हैं. Okay, so add customer, same way we have a method for the show customer. Okay, to show all the customer detail from the table. See, this is that. When you pass some ID, it will check from the customer table and it will give the detail about that. Then update customer, this is the method for the update customer. Okay, what is this here? It is updating the customer detail. And for the delete customer, okay, see customer, so customer ID, and then from where it is removing, it is deleting it from the. See, if you see here customer info, this is DB context inside the customers, means from customers table, remove the this customer which is ID I am getting in this method. Okay, fine. Okay, now what we have to do, you have to we have created one project called, first we are going to see the web API. Fine. So for web API, remember we have selected the web API option. So if you go to the controller, this is, you have to create one new controller. So add, you have to select controller, and here you have to select this web API to controller, and give some name and add it. When I click add, it is asked what is the name you want to give some name, like I have given customer API, you can give the customer API and add it. So it will come like this. Now the difference between a normal controller and the API controller is this base class. So if you see, this is API controller, that's why it inherited from the API controller. But if you see the normal controller, it inherited from the controller. Okay, so I created a API controller. By default, it will create the view, this view. I deleted all the code from that index.cshtml, and I have run this one. Service is up and running. Okay, one more important thing is web API is this one. This is routing.config file to call a controller. So if you want to call any controller, you have to use the this route URL, like the localhost /home /index. But if you want to call the web API, then you have to use this routing URL. Okay, like API, you have to add / that controller name, or if you are using some ID which is an optional, then you can call through the ID. Okay, so no need to do anything here. Fine. So only you have to create this customer API controller. Okay, now before writing the code, remember few things. First thing is that what you have to do, from that customer del layer, copy this connection string. Okay, this connection string. Okay, copy this connection string. Okay, and paste it here in the web.config. See, this is my web API config file. What I did, I copied it here. See, again I am repeating this. Just copy the web.config from this customer del app.config from here. From that connection string from app.config in the customer del. Copy that connection string from app.config and paste it in the web.config file in your web API. And remember, don't paste it in this web.config file which is inside view. I don't want that one. Okay, I don't want to paste it in the web.config file which is inside the views folder. You have to paste it into the main web.config file. Here, paste it. Okay, so first you have to do copy the web.config file. Second, what you have to do, go to your manage NuGet package. Okay, and you have to install this entity framework. This you have to add. Okay, fine. So you have to add this entity framework. Right, once it added, you can see that entity framework here. Okay, also you have to add this namespace, ASP.NET Web API Client. Okay, this one. Fine. Same thing you have to do for in your MVC project also. Okay, you have to add entity framework and Microsoft ASP.NET Web API Client there. Okay, so close this. Okay, this is my API controller. Okay, this one. Now here I have written these two method. Okay, see, also one, because my web API, this project is going to communicate with the data access layer, this data access layer. So what you have to do, you have to add the reference of DLL of that data access layer. This del, by default when you select, it will check what are the DLL in this solution. So you have to select this customer del and click on OK. So this also come and reflect in your reference section. Okay, fine. So I have added my del also. Okay, see, if I remove this one, what I am getting error in the JSON request, because JSON request belong to this namespace. What is this called? You can get help from your Visual Studio only. See, system.web.http request. Fine. You have added the customer detail, create a instance of that customer repository page. This is your customer repository class. Create a reference of this, and then I am creating two web API methods, logics. What is this? I want to get a customer detail. So see, customer, get customer, then customer repo dot get customer list. Right click, go to definition, where it get customer list. See, customer repository dot cs, and here is that method. See, this is the get customer list. What this method is doing, it is returning db dot customer dot to list, means this method is this return type is returning you select star from customer table, all the data of the customer table. Okay, this is done. Then what you are doing, because web API is used to write a logic, and you are sharing this logic in some format. So I am using a JSON format to send or you can say transport, used to transport the data. So that's why I use this JSON result. So I am just converting the data in the JSON format. That's why it's written JSON list customer, and this is what the value I am getting, and I am returning that JSON. Same way, if you see, I have created another method when you pass some ID. Okay, so this is what the route I have added. If the web API work like that. If either you add the get post put method and name the HTTP verb with the method, like I have added here get, means whenever I want to select something, I want to, it will go automatically into this method. Or you can write a route in that. So I have written route here like API customer API, which is my controller customers, and when I pass some ID, it will call this method. This method, when I want to select something from the customer table, like select star from customer where customer ID equal to some value. Okay, and it will retrieve the value here. So once it is done, let's test this methods. Okay, so what I will do, web API, just right click on the web API and go to debug, start new instance. So remember, my IP is 443124 for web API. Okay, and the concept of web API is also that we have to host it, and by default it is hosting into the IS. So that's why some IP created by our Visual Studio. So this is 44312, and first time it will open the controller, normal controller. And what is our normal controller? Home controller, because the same thing is mentioned in the app start, that go to home index. Okay, and for home index, what is the view here? Service is up and running. So what it will show? It will show service is up and running. But I have to go to my API, because I have to test the API, this API. Okay, and what is the URL I have to use for to call that method? We have to use this API. I have to write first API, then I have to write, I have to write that controller name, and this is the controller. Okay, fine, and hit enter. See, it will come into that customer API controller, this method. I am just click on the continue. When I continue, it will give me in the JSON file. Okay, correct. Let's check the another method. So what you have to do, customers and then some ID. So API, customer API, customers, and then suppose I am writing 2. See, it comes here, just run it. So no value with the 2 is fine. Let's check what all value we have. Customer ID 1718, fine. So just go back here, just right here 18. Okay, 18 and hit enter. Okay, just let me run it again. This one, customer web API and debug, start new instance, and I will take this part. So it comes here. Okay, show customer, and it will show the value here. Okay, fine. So that means our web API is also working. Now let's move to the our third project, that is web app MVC project. Okay, so first here what you have to do, remember you have to add the reference of that customer Dell. Okay, first thing, then you have to add that two namespace, entity framework and ASP.NET web API client. Once it is done, here also remember, not inside the view web, there is two web.config, not inside the view web.config. You have to copy the in the main web.config file that connection string from that customer Dell app.config file. Okay, once it is done, fine. I have just did some slight changes in this layout page, default layout page. It will give some name. I have added like customer management. Okay, and then I have added this session. Okay, see, session email ID, if it is null, then it will go to the logout page. Okay, because I am going to use this session management, and this is what my UI page. Okay, so my first page is home controller. So if you see in the app start, again for this is because if you see web API config is not there, because this is not web API project, MVC project. This is only MVC project. Okay, when you select web API, okay, then you will get routing config and then web API routing config. So here the path is home index. So it will go to your home controller. Okay, now let's see one by one. In my home controller index, so what is here index? Return view. What I created in the index, if you see normal, one page where it will ask you to enter the credential. Okay, so normal view, what you have to do, just right click, add view, MVC, no need to do anything, just keep it in empty and click on add. Okay, and then just it will create this index.cshtml. Just change it like how I did here. So html.begin form always when we are using, when we are doing some post or when we have required to do some submit, when we are want to send the database to the server, that time we are going to use this begin form. So inside that what we have, I have this a text box to enter the email ID and text box to enter a password. Okay, and then submit button. So this is what done home controller. When you click on the submit button, so what it will do, it will take you to this second index, which is taking data from that form collection. Okay, so what I am getting that login form, text email ID, see this one, text email ID and text password. Okay, it will take the, if that email ID and password, it will send it to your validate user page in the customer repository. It will go here and it will check that email ID password you are passing to the parameter. It will check those that email ID password is available in the admin user table or not. If it is there, it will return some row. Okay, after getting that value, means the admin user, okay, I'm getting some value, this is not null. Then if it is not null, then what you are doing, email ID you are passing in that session email ID, and also you are passing the session admin ID. It's fine, this is optional, but you are just creating the email ID in a session for login and logout purpose. And once you are, because you the values exist, then what you are doing, we are redirecting to the another controller. What is that controller name? Customer. So if you see the parameter action name and controller, so this is your controller name. Inside that controller you have this action name is create. So let's go see here. So this is our customer controller. Here also I have added this customer repository, customer DLL to call this customer repository. Okay, same thing I have anywhere where any page when you are have to create the instance of customer repository, you have to add the customer DL customer DL reference. Okay, so now here if you see, this is my create method. Okay, this is my action. Okay, clear? Customer controller create is the action. So my customer controller create is the action. So what I check, session email ID, if null, again I send it to the login page, home index. Okay, if not there, then it go to the create page. Okay, now here one more important thing is that if you go to model, I have created this admin user. See, this admin user I have created in the model. If you see this admin user and this is admin user, if you see, properties are same. Why? These are used as a communicator or delegator. Okay, my this admin user will responsibility is to take care the task involved in this customer DLL project, and this admin user which created in model is responsible to take care all the transformation or changes we are doing in the web app. So when I send the data to the admin user, first this model will take, then it will give to the admin user of the data access layer, and from it go to the database. Same way data access customer DLL will take data from the entity framework, it give to this admin user from the customer DLL. This customer DLL admin user pass it to the model admin user, and then model admin user send it to the controller to show it to the view. Okay, so that's why we created these two classes here in the model. Okay, what are those classes? Admin user and customer. Here customer CS is also same as our customer.cs in the customer DLL. Fine. What is this? This is for validation. When you are adding required, this namespace is required because this namespace only contain the detail about this required data annotation, system.component_model.data annotation. So these are the some of the attributes used for the data annotation. Means this is a required field. Okay, see here, this is the display, uh, uh, how customer name, because it is, see, this is not a proper name to show in the UI, I want to show in this way, so I have to use the display. This is the string length. Okay, it will take this much character, name length should not be less than 76. So like that you can do the validations. Okay, see, this is the validation we have did. Okay, some example of the data annotation, or you can say validation in the MVC in models. Okay, so you have to create these two model, and for customer.cs you have to do this validations, and you have to write this annotation. Fine. Now let's come back to our customer controller. So create, again you have to create a view for this create, and this time you have to select create, you have to select this create template, and then you have to create a model. Which model? Customer. See, customer is there in the DLL DAL also, customer is there in the model also. You have to select this customer and click on the add. Once you click on add, what it will do, it will create a this one, create.css. Okay, this is what your Visual Studio will do. Fine. Okay, clear? So once create is done, page is done, then again we have to two method involved in each page. One is to view, so that you page all the control, and second, while you post the data to the server. So in the create, when you enter all the value, so HTML.begin form, when you enter all the value, now what you have to do, you have to post it to the database. Okay, for that you have to write this code. Now if you see here in this code, HTML post action result create, I am writing model.customer.customers. From where it is getting? It is getting from this create. See, model.customer. So when you enter all the value, click on the submit, I will get all the value in this model.customer. And this model.customer, this is the normal I am writing in all the method, checking if session is null, I am redirecting to the home page. If session is not null, then it will go and check if model state is valid. The annotation it will check which is required, which is not required. If any error it is there, it will show the error. Okay, if there is no error, you have follow all the validation, that it will send it to your this whatever the data from your model, what it is doing, transferring those data from model to your uh, uh, customer model to your customer data access layer. See, this is del of customer, and this is what I am getting, model customer. So this is my model customer. From model customer I am transferring into the data, giving it to my from model customer to the data access layer customer. And then customer dot repository, I am in the add customer I am passing that data. Which data? Customer dot customer del dot customer. Now just right click and see, go to definition, just right click and see here. Here what is the customer? It will only take customer del as a parameter. Okay, and when I am calling this add customer, means I have to pass this one customer del, right? I cannot pass this one here, because if I pass this, it will give me error, because you don't understand. It is telling that this add customer will only take the data from the customer which belong to his area, that is data access layer. Okay, so that's why it is saying that cannot convert customer which is from the model to customer which is the del. That's why this conversion we have to do here. Once we do this conversion, then we send this. What is that? Okay, fine. So this what we did here. Customer info we pass, it goes to the database and it will submit the data. Fine. So once create is done, what you are doing? You are once the create is done successfully, then you are sending it to the show customer. Okay. Now this is important. See, show customer. Show customer, because I said you are calling the web API. See, if you remember, this is the IP of my web API. So this is the way of calling the web client, web API. Here important thing is to remember this HTTP client. This is very important class which is used to call the web API. Okay. And, unlike in WCF, when you want to call the WCF, you have to take care of a lot of things like endpoint, binding, that is called contract, all those things you have to take care of that. Here, because web API is based on HTTP, so you have to only use this HTTP client, and HTTP client is responsible to call that your web API method. So this is what I did. I have given the IP, API and customer API. Okay, this is what my web API, and then I am getting it I am getting the response back in the JSON format, and from JSON I am taking into my this customer del. Okay, and again from customer del from customer del I am converting it to my model customer. See, model customer I converted, and that model customer I sent to the my view controller, because every controller associated with the view. So first understand the flow. First it call the web API. From web API getting a data from your database. From database I am getting the data. Okay, so this DB customer I am getting from the data access layer. From there I am converting into my model, passing the data into my model customer, and this model customer I am sending it to the view. So what you have to do, just right click, add view, here add, and here, because show means list, you have to select this one, and here you have to select the model customer, not del one, and click on add. It will create my page. Okay, and this will show me all the data from the database. Okay, now if you see, whenever I do the list, I select the list one, by default. Okay, this your Visual Studio, this template, MVC template will do. It will add this two field, one more field, one more functionality it will add, that is detail. So I'm not using that detail. So edit and delete. Okay, and here you have to pass customer ID, because customer, from where it is getting customer ID, from here model.customer. Model.customer has all this property. Okay, so customer ID you are also passing for edit and delete. And after that everything is easy. You have to create the same way. This, if you place your cursor here, what it is saying, it is saying the link test, it will show edit there, but this edit link to one action name is also edit. So see, action name is as edit, and this is my parameter. So now if you go here to the action name, see, this is the edit action. Okay, I'm getting this parameter because edit means what? Update. Okay, table, then some columns, values. Okay, and where you are writing that customer ID, I want to edit this. Okay, so this is what value I am getting, and here you are doing the edit. So customer repository, show customer, go to view, sorry, not go to view, go to definition. See, this is my show customer code. Okay, it will take first the value from the uh, uh, your database. Okay, that value again, see here you are calling customer repository. Okay, it will show all the value to your UI, that okay, these are value you want to edit, like we have seen into that page. Okay, and then when you click on the submit button, see again edit. This is to show the value in the control, and then on click of submit, it comes here the model.customer, because now all the value is passed into that model.customer, because this is link, two-way binding here. Okay, and then what you are doing, you are passing those value into your same way you are moving data from your model to your model customer to your data access layer customer, then you are passing it into that update customer method, which is written inside the customer repository. And if I click code definition, okay, this is the code for that. Okay, so once update is done, okay, you again send it back to the show customer action. Where is the show customer? This one. So that it will retrieve all the value from the database, updated one, and it will show into the UI. Okay, fine. And then it is because you did this thing, so same way you can do for the delete. Okay, delete also you are using the show customer to first show the value, and then you are using the delete confirm. Okay, simple code for that. That with the ID, it will show the customer first, it will show the fetch the value, and it remove that value from the table. Fine. So this is how you have to write a code, and this is for logout. Okay, once it is done, then just you set this as a startup page, startup project, because you have a 3 project in this solution. So you have to set this as a, because your solution, you have to tell your solution that which is the startup project. So this you have to set as a startup project, and then once this is done, you have to click on the start, because already it will first check your MVC in what is the flow in the MVC. First it will open the in your web app. This is my MVC project. First it open the global.asx, then from here it go to your register route, routing.config. Okay, and there it will check which controller and which action. It will go to your home controller index page, and it open this page for you. You enter this two value, click, see there is no logout here. Once you click login, then the logout will come and it go to create page, because this is what you have mentioned here in that if my session ID is not null, then only show the logout page. Okay, fine. And if you click logout, it again come back to your login page. That also you have written here, that if logout is done, remove the session, clear all the session and redirect to index.home. And then same way we have create page. See, back to list. By default it will create like that. You have to add this back to list. You have to link with your action, that is customer, show customer. So if you see here create, and if you scroll down back to list, what I see, what is back to, it is telling that what text you want to show in the UI and what is the action name. I am saying the action name is show customer. And where is my show customer action? Here. This is my show customer. Okay, and show customer, what it will do, it will showing the all the data. See, just let me remove this debug point and continue. So show customer will show all the data. This is what a simple application page applications project we build using the entity framework MVC web API in your Visual Studio 2019. If you like this like this application, please subscribe. Thank you.